Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go-to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the books from November 17th to the 23rd. There are over 500 new books this week, but there is no way that we could cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. You'll Never Know is a new thriller by Caleb Stevens. Grant Wilson's perfect life collapses when two masked men abduct his pregnant wife in broad daylight. Soon after, he begins receiving cryptic riddles, each one a clue in a twisted game designed to test his limits and force impossible choices. With time running out and every answer leading to greater danger, Grant races through a maze of deception to save Avery before the deadline expires. But as the riddles grow darker and the truth closes in, he realizes the kidnapper's game isn't just about rescue, it's about revenge. And losing means more than death. You'll Never Know will be released on November 18th. The Midnight Ride is a Cinderella retelling by Robyn Sarty. Philippa Secord prefers the stables to society, but a midnight ride draws her into a sudden invasion that threatens the entire kingdom. Prince William, newly crowned and pressured to secure both his throne and a bride, plans on a unifying royal ball, until the looming attack forces him to reconsider whom he can trust. When their paths cross, Philippa and William form an uneasy alliance to uncover the truth behind the threat and defend their homeland. Amid danger, secrecy, and shifting loyalties, they must decide whether risking their hearts is worth as much as saving the kingdom itself. The Midnight Ride begins on November 20th. The Picasso Job is a striking new standalone thriller by Avanti Centrae. Dakota Black once dreamed of joining the FBI, but her wrongful conviction lands him in Folsom Prison instead. Targeted by fellow inmate Cody Winters, Dakota aligns himself with Reza, a manipulative art thief with lethal ambition. Their escape sparks a chaotic crime spree driven by the promise of a multi-million-dollar reward tied to a stolen Picasso. Hot on their trail is Special Agent Elizabeth Everett, determined to stop Reza's escalating plan. As Dakota navigates shifting alliances and deadly motives, he must decide whether survival means becoming the criminal everyone believes he is, or finding a way back to the principles he refuses to abandon. The Picasso Job will be released on November 18th. The Cedar Bluff Penalty series begins with Overtime Positions by A.M. McCoy. Frankie's life revolves around her kids and keeping her past firmly buried, until a babysitter emergency leaves her children in the care of Travis, a brooding carpenter, and Elliot, a soft-hearted firefighter. Best friends and supposedly off-limits, they become anything but as glances turn into kisses and one night becomes an entanglement, none of them planned. While Frankie navigates secret sleepovers and two men who don't want to let her go, a stalker begins leaving ominous signs that her past is catching up. As the danger closes in, Travis and Elliot may be the only ones who can protect her, if their fragile, unexpected bond survives the threat. Find Overtime Positions on November 23rd. Crown of Thorns is a dark fairy tale romance by USA Today bestselling author Jennifer Rebecca. After discovering a truth that shatters her identity, a woman flees the control of a ruthless man, determined to use her for his own rise to power. But the quiet life she tries to reclaim was never truly safe, because he finds her again, and with him comes the danger she tried to outrun. Forced to choose between running once more or trusting the man who deceived her, she faces a future defined by betrayal, power, and a destiny she never wanted. Survival may mean embracing a crown weighted with thorns, and accepting that some stories don't end in happily ever after. Crown of Thorns will be released on November 17th. And Still Her Voice is a soul-stirring ride through the summer of love by Ruthie Marlenee. In 1967, after stabbing her abusive father, 16-year-old Anna Lamar runs away, only to realize she isn't alone. The voice of her dead grandmother, Phoebe, has taken up residence in her mind, pushing, judging, and refusing to let go. With a guitar on her back and the knife still strapped to her leg, Anna travels through the love-charged landscape of the summer of love, meeting drifters, musicians, and misfits who challenge her understanding of family and identity. As she searches for freedom from Phoebe's grip, Anna must confront generations of trauma and learn how to claim a life and a voice of her own. And Still Her Voice will be available on November 21st. Midnight in Memphis is a Southern noir by Thomas Dann. In 1955 Memphis, homicide detective Burdett Vance is trying to outrun a troubled past when he's assigned a volatile new case. A killer targeting the daughters of powerful white families in what appears to be retribution for decades of racial violence. Paired with Eustace Johnson, one of the few black officers on the force and a reluctant participant in the department's latest publicity move, Vance must navigate a city rife with injustice and political decay. As tensions rise and Vance's former lover, Emmeline Bryce, becomes the killer's next mark, the two detectives confront buried fears and hard truths in a race to stop the murders before Memphis erupts into chaos. Find Midnight in Memphis on November 18th. Ripples Through Time is a dual-time romance by Christina Courtenay. In A.D. 1873, Merowyn's Mercian settlement braces for Norse attack, but her greatest danger comes from within. When Eric, a wounded Viking left for dead after a failed raid, is found by Merowyn, she saves his life against all reason, finding their fates together in a world ruled by violence and suspicion. In present-day Hereford, Alex seeks refuge on her uncle's farm after heartbreak, only to be unsettled by vivid memories triggered whenever she touches a crystal pendant, memories of a life she's never lived. As a buried Viking hoard draws police scrutiny, Nora races to uncover the remaining treasure while grappling with an inexplicable bond to Alex, one that echoes across centuries. Ripples Through Time will be released on November 20th. The Sky and Ash series begins with Echo of Broken Skies by Jessica Dean Norris. Raven has spent her life hiding powers that only seem to hurt the people around her. When her magic attracts a monstrous force, she flees across the silent gulf in search of answers. In the kingdom of Ocaris, where sorcery is punishable by death, Darren conceals his wind magic, but a narrow escape from the king's guards thrusts him into a rebel movement shaped by secrets and prophecy. Both fugitives are drawn into a myth foretelling the Sky and Ash, two powers that can either save their world or doom it. As war looms and alliances fracture, Raven and Darren must uncover the truth behind the prophecy before fate destroys them both. Echo of Broken Skies begins the journey on November 19th. Finally, we have The Burning Library by New York Times bestselling author Gilly Macmillan. When the body of Eleanor Burton washes ashore in Scotland's Western Isles, she appears to be an unremarkable church volunteer, until a fragment of ancient embroidery among her belongings hints at a deadly secret. For more than a century, two clandestine women's organizations have hunted the artifact: the Order of St. Catherine, who wield influence from the shadows, and the Fellowship of the Larks, who seek visible power at any cost. Unaware of the danger surrounding her, Dr. Anya Brown is recruited to a prestigious manuscript institute in St. Andrews to translate cryptic medieval texts tied to the embroidery. At the same time, Detective Constable CeeLo Spicer quietly investigates Eleanor's death, uncovering threads that pull her into the same hidden conflict. As the women's paths converge, they are drawn into a centuries-old struggle where knowledge is perilous and the price of uncovering the truth may be their lives. The Burning Library will be released on November 18th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading list, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.